Hey everybody, as you saw by the title of today's video, I'm going to be ranking every roller coaster at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. This is a park known to have some amazing roller coasters, some of the best in Florida, if not in the country, if not in the world. But yeah, they have a really great ride lineup, a bunch of different ride models by different manufacturers, and we're going to get into that in just 1 second. But before we get into the video, I just do want to ask you guys, if you are enjoying these types of videos and want to see more in the future, leave a like on this one. But more importantly, subscribe to the channel. I've been looking at my YouTube analytics, and it appears as though 99% of you guys who are watching these videos are not subscribed. So please, if you're enjoying the videos, if you want to see more content, if you're watching multiple videos, like if you're a returning viewer, there's no reason not to subscribe. It's completely free, helps me out a lot. Anyways, guys, enough of that. Let's get straight into the video. So at number 10, we have a ride that technically isn't open anymore. It's Sand Serpent. This is the park's Wild Mouse. I still wanted to throw it in here though, because when I went to the park, I rode it, and I will say, like, it's technically not a bad ride. Like, I don't really think there are any bad rides at Busch Gardens, but compared to all the other rides at the park, it's just a little bit uncomfortable, a little bit cramped, and definitely very unoriginal. The only thing that I will say that was fun about this ride is the footage you're watching right now is me, my dad, and my friend Mike riding Sand Serpent, and just the turns slam you so hard, so we were laughing just from how stupid and janky it was. Like, I will say, it was enjoyable just riding it with my friends, but it's definitely just, you know, your average Wild Mouse, an uninspired ride for sure, and whatever they were replaced with, I am sure will be a lot better, so I'm glad I got the credit. But yeah, definitely the worst ride at the park down here at number 10. And at number 9, we have Air Grover. This is the park's kiddie coaster, somehow not ranking in last because Sand Serpent is just so jank and unoriginal. Air Grover, in terms of kiddie coasters, is actually not too terrible. It's not like really well themed, it doesn't have the most inspired layout, but it's definitely a lot more comfortable than Sand Serpent, although I will say the seats are very interesting. I'm not going to go specifically into details. If you've ridden the ride, you know exactly what I mean. I'm sure my dad and Mike and a couple other people right now who know what I'm talking about are laughing right now, but yeah, the seats are very interesting. But either way, yeah, just a couple turns, a couple little dips, nothing crazy, but still pretty fun, good for the kids, coming here at 9. And at number 8, we have Tigress. This is the park's Skyrocket 2 clone. I've ridden a bunch of these, I've ridden them all over the place, and if this ride didn't have comfort collars, it would probably rank higher, but because of the restraints, comfort collars are just so unbearable. I've talked about it so many times on this channel. I don't know why these things exist. There are plenty of Skyrockets out there, like Full Throttle, like other Skyrocket 2 clones like Superman at Discovery Kingdom, and like Phobia Fear Coaster at Lake Compounds that don't have comfort collars, and they are just so much better without them. I will say it's still a very forceful layout with some good airtime and good positives, so that's why it doesn't rank lower. But yeah, it can't be any higher than number 8 for me just because it's way less comfortable than all the rides coming up ahead of it. So Tigress here at number 8. And at number 7, we have Cobra's Curse. This is a sort of family coaster that the park has. It's really fun. It has like an elevator lift hill. It has a section where you're facing forwards, a section where you're facing backwards, and a section where you're spinning as well. It has some nice onboard audio. Well, I don't know if it's on the train or if there's like speakers on the ride, but there's still audio, as well as this cool, neat Cobra statue that you go by near the beginning of the ride, a bunch of good overbank turns, and overall it's really fun. Nothing super thrilling, but a great family coaster, a great stepping stone coaster for young thrill seekers, so it'll be here at number 7. And next up at 6, we have Scorpion. This is the park's classic Schwarzkopf looper. I will say the first drop and everything besides the loop on this ride is nothing too crazy, nothing too intense. Like, obviously the helixes are fun and all that, but the star of this ride and what gets it this spot here and not a spot lower is the vertical loop. It is super intense, super forceful. It probably pulls, I want to say, in between 4 to 5 Gs. That's what most Schwarzkopf loops pull, and overall it's just a very nostalgic ride. Not super heavily themed or anything like that, but it does have a pretty nice color scheme, and I enjoyed it. And you know, for how old it is, it's decently smooth. So yeah, Schwarzkopf, super fun, super intense, here at number 6. And up next at number 5, we have Cheetah Hunt. This might be a hot take for some people. I know a lot of people think this might be like top 3 in the park or something like that, but for me it's just not so forceful. Like, the launches don't hit too intense. For like an Intamin Bliss, this is more of a family coaster, although I will say there is one inversion on it, which is fun, and there's a couple airtime moments here and there. Overall, I would say the best part about this ride though is the length and the setting. It is a pretty long ride, and it does go over some water, which is quite pretty, and so, you know, I enjoy the ride. I enjoy how it's a nice long ride, but it is not very intense, and so for a bigger launched coaster I would expect more. Definitely just not too intense or thrilling, so that's why it's here at number 5. Still a great ride, like I said, nice setting, somewhat good theming, but yeah, terrible operations as for what a lot of this park does. But this ride itself is supposed to load 2 trains at a time, and it was only loading 1 at a time when I was there, so horrible ops, line moves slow, and just not too forceful or intense, so it'll be here at number 5. Up next at number 4 we have Shikra, the park's B&M dive coaster, and this is a very simple ride. It's just a first drop, an Immelman, and then I think you turn into the mid-course and drop into the splashdown. Then that's literally the whole ride, so literally only like 2 drops in an inversion, but what it does well. You know, the first drop 200 feet straight down, super fun, especially in the back car. I know some people like it better in the front for the view, but I like it in the back for the whip. And the Immelman's fun, it is what it is, but the splashdown's great, super beautiful, and I just think it is a lot more thrilling than something like Cheetah Hunt, something like Scorpion, Cobra's Curse, all the rides below this. It just gives you that little bit of extra thrill and fun that the other ones don't. I will say for dives, it is a little bit on the rougher side since it is older, but still a good time, so it'll be here at number 4. And next up at number 3 is Kumba. Now I will say, my friend Mike, who went to Busch Gardens with me, said that it wasn't running as fast as when he had gone in the past, so it's possible that I got some slow rides on Kumba, but I still thought it was a great time. I feel like it's a little bit overhyped. Like, everyone talks about Kumba like it's the most intense roller coaster ever, like it's one of the best rides at the park, which top 3 is still very good, but most people would say like Iron Gwazi, then Kumba maybe at number 2. For me, it's definitely not number 2. It's here at number 3. I just think that the next ride up in front of this one is a little bit more intense, a little bit more smooth. Kumba does have a little bit of a rattle to it. It's not unbearable, but it's definitely noticeable. But yeah, I mean, the layout is not very original. It's sort of the same kind of layout you would see on a lot of floorless coasters, just obviously Kumba is quite a bit more intense. So I still think it's a very fun ride. It's a great fit in the park, but it's just going to be held here at number 3 for me. And then next up at number 2 is Montu. Now I know a lot of people would put Montu behind Kumba, but based on the rides that I got on the 2 days I was at the park, I definitely think Montu is quite a bit more intense, quite a bit smoother, and I am just a sucker for B&M inverts. I love B&M inverts. I love the whippiness, the snappiness, my feet dangling, all of it. I think they're super fun, and I think Montu is the best one. So great fit in the park. I love the theming on this ride as well when you're entering the ride and in the trenches and all that. It looks very Egyptian, like the rock work and stonework and all that. It's very nice. I enjoy it a lot. Super intense and fun invert and a decently long ride, kind of split into 2 separate halves, which I do prefer the first half, which has the Batwing and a couple other fun inversions, but the second half is still fun. Makes use of the trenches again, as I was saying, has a nice corkscrew, and yeah, just Montu's a great ride here at number 2. And at number 1, I think you all saw this coming, is obviously Iron Gwazi. Now I will say, I kind of have some issues with Iron Gwazi. I do think it's a bit overrated, but I also do think that I got really bad rides on it, so I think it actually probably isn't overrated, just according to the rides I got it is. Basically, I was at the park for 2 days and ended up only getting a total of 3 rides on Iron Gwazi, because the first day that I was there, we got our ride in the morning and then went and did the rest of the park, and we're planning on coming back at night, and it was just broken for the rest of the day. Second day I was there, it was broken down for most of the day, so we were only get 2 rides in. Definitely not ideal, and it definitely gives me a little bit of anger towards this ride in a way. Not like I hate Iron Gwazi or anything, it's just like, come on, man, like how come when everyone else goes, they can get all kinds of laps on it, but when I go, we only get 3 rides across 2 days. But overall, the ride itself, super fun, amazing first drop, basically straight down. It's quote-unquote beyond vertical, but it's 91 degrees, so it's basically straight down. Super fun outer bank, super fun death roll. All the airtime moments are great. Like I was saying, not as intense as I feel like people make it out to be, but again, that's probably just because of my bad rides. But even with my mediocre rides on Iron Gwazi, it is still the best ride in the park, to be certain. So that is going to do it, guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let me know how you would rank these rides, how you disagree with my rankings, and why. And leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and have not yet. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.